Do you know what? You know who I'm chatting to today?
Mm-hmm.
Free the curls.
That's right. That's right. Give me body, yaddy, yaddy. Give it to me.
Exactly.
Let's go, y'all.
Exactly. How are you today? You good?
I am doing well. I'm doing well today. Yes.
All right, Nico, season 2. Where do we start? I've watched the first 4 episodes.
Okay. Okay. Well, go ahead. Hit it.
Okay. First thing I want to say is your birthday suit. Oh my God. Everything.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We really wanted to kind of get the, all of Uncle Clifford's looks come from something. There's a point of reference or, a story. And for me, that birthday look was kind of like, be the unicorn that the world says you are. But,
I wondered, when you put on the wig, the outfit, like, when do you fully transform into Uncle Clifford? Like, what happens? Is there a moment where you kind of woosah in the mirror, how does it work?
Typically, my makeup artist is Janine Cawthorn this season, and she will tell you it happens in the makeup chair because there's typically Nico is going to wear, especially coming to work, I'm wearing something that's very comfortable, very loose, and a sneaker or a something I can slide my foot in and keep moving. So no heels or anything, right? And when she's doing my makeup, she says that there's a moment where she can see, she says, I see you're pretty. And your prettiness kind of comes through. And she was like, there she go. And I'd be like, Janine, what are you talking about? But for me as an actor, it's that makeup process, but also when I get my nails on.
Love. I'm wondering, I spoke to Elarica, also spoke to Brandy, and I'm shocked, especially with Brandy. Brandy was actually like, you have no idea. I don't have my skin out normally. This was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering for you, because you're extroverted, Uncle Clifford is out there. Did you have the same sort of moment of almost having to come out of your shell and embrace this character?
I mean, I think that I am on the shy side. And I say shy, not typical, oh, don't talk to me. I'm not meek. I am not quiet. Yeah. I guess I like to be to myself, right? I know how to come out and to be in the world and to, the extroverted side of me. It's interesting because physically, to play a sex worker, it's a different level of awareness and comfortability in your body. And it doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. It actually is something that's extremely empowering because I know what moves and how it moves and how to move it. Whether that is a thigh, a cheek, a chest, a shoulder, an eyelash, all of the things. And it's like, oh, you really got to know yourself on another kind of level, like this body. And especially being a full-figured man, I wanted to be able to represent for more full-figured bodies, whether they are non-binary, whether they are female, male, whatever the case may be. I don't think a lot of times you get to see the full-figured celebrated on screen in the same kind of way.
It kind of gave me Pose, but so much more raw and unapologetic, and I loved Pose. For me,
I do too.
For me to see Black Latin characters, like people on screen, owning their sexuality, and also, we'll talk a little bit about your little love life, but this is something we don't see often, and I think J.R. Fon said to me when I was talking to him, he knew, because he's obviously married, he's got a wife, taking on this role, that perhaps there might be a backlash, but he was like, it was important. And I think he completely, he did it. He did such a wonderful job. What's the reaction been like? Because sometimes I think it's tougher for people of color, people like us, for people to accept being seen, different sexuality, different pronouns, different expressions.
It's a definite journey for sure. I will say that I for me, I've received a lot of love. I think that when people meet me in real life, there's the question, you know, of like, wait, oh, you know, you remind me of one of my favorite characters. This woman said this to me in an elevator. I was at the Botanical Gardens, and she was like, you remind me of one of my favorite characters. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. And she turned to the person next to her. She said, you watch that show, P-Valley? He reminded me of Uncle Clifford. He reminded me of Uncle Clifford. And I had my mask on. And so I put my mask down when I was getting off the elevator. And I was like, thank you. And she was like, oh, you know. So, I mean, it's a lot of love. And I also think that it's important that the change that we want to see in this world, I think that it can come through many different aspects. Each and every one of us can for our work, right? Each and every one of us, it's about what is it that we can do to make the world a little bit better for somebody else? And I'm happy to be able to do that through my art, you know?
It's interesting because Ariana DeBose, who recently had the West Side Story moment, you know, great actress, but she said to me, I worked on Broadway for over a decade. This has not come easy to me, you know, having this moment, but it's beautiful to see. Also, she's an Afro-Latina actress, also somebody who's gay, open. And I was just like, she's ticking so many different boxes, but watching this show, I think away from the skin and the hotness, it's also like really important to see this representation.
It is, because sometimes if you don't see yourself, you can think that you don't exist. Yeah. You know, you can really forget. Sometimes I think I'm really realizing more and more as this platform that we have as actors increases, that sometimes you're giving people hope. Yeah. Just, you don't have to do it this way, but to say, oh, there's freedom there. Oh, this is what this looks like. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't judge people because they may be going through stuff like Uncle Clifford. Yeah. Wow, I never thought about it like that.
It's funny, I was listening to Kendrick's album and talking about his version of Uncle Clifford growing up.
Right? Yep, and the Auntie Diaries.
Absolutely. And talking about language and not knowing any better. But I was thinking straight away about P-Valley. And I thought,
really?
Oh, how the world has changed now. How good is this? You know, it's not behind closed doors. This is great. And I hope you lot, Katori, the cast, all see those moments and think, actually, this is really important. This is bigger than all of us.
It is. And it's so not about like me. It's so not about like the show. It's bigger than, because the show represents the real people in this world. I think one of the things that like when people are like, oh, well, what's the secret sauce in P-Valley? I think it's because it's like a docu-reality, you know, that's being filmed in such a raw, as you said, way that you kind of like forget that these are not real people. But it's one of my goals and hopes that when people watch the show, they are then transformed so that when they do encounter true non-binary people, when they do encounter other people that may work in the sex work industry, it's not with a shameful eye. It's not with this, you know, they see that, oh, you're human. You know, there are people who do this because they love it. There are people who do it because they need it for school. There are people who do it in their way to pay for medical school to be your doctors. So you never, ever, ever know.
Keep your hands on the wheel, because Uncle Clifford's girl's finna take you down to the valley, child.
I've only been to a strip club once, and it was for a friend's 21st. He made me come, and I just thought, oh, hours are like so dead. Like, you know what I think is hilarious about P-Valley and the Pynk is chicken wings.
Yes.
The hotness on the
The Pynk has everything that you can need. But that's true. That's a part of our culture. Like in Southern American culture, the strip club is a place where you can go for so many things. That's where you go for baby showers, you go for your bachelor party, you go for your bridal shower, you go for a baby shower, you see your ministers there. Like there's some of everybody that's gonna be in this strip club.
Yeah, and Uncle Clifford, love, love, love. This time, season 2, people are not ready for this. Firstly, how amazing was it when you read the script and Uncle Clifford was taking no shit? Like, you accept me, you hold me in front of people, or you're done. How did that feel?
It's a level that I was like, oh, I could use some of that in my life. You know, but it's great. When reading the character on the page was just something that was just like, whoa, this is like a role of a lifetime. I love this. It's so rich. It's so dense. And it's an opportunity for me as an actor that says, oh, you can utilize all of your skill sets, you know, as a dancer, as a choreographer, from doing classical theater to be able to move to something that's so modern and nuanced and elevated text as well, because there's times where the characters are speaking in this beautiful, like, elevated diatribe, the language, the dialect, but all of the things mixed together. It's really just a beautiful experience.
This time round, though, I feel like you almost gave the lover an ultimatum. And boy, does it work. Boy, does it work.
See? Sometimes you have to be able to stand in your own truth. You have to be able to say, this is who I am. This is what I will or will not accept.
Yeah.
You can't throw a rock without hitting 5 businesses that ain't closed down.
Oh, y'all best appreciate what I've been doing these past 5 months. Keep on, and this booty gonna be gone.
And Little Murder, for me, it's fascinating because I've worked across the music industry, film industry. I've interviewed so many different people, and there are people that are completely in the closet still. And I don't know when this is going to change. But again, watching the show, especially season 2, and seeing Little Murder story play out and how unapologetically Katori is showing us like this is the deal. I was like, wait, I hope there's a lot of people watching this and thinking.
Yeah, and I also hope that there are a lot of people that, whether that is their story or whether that is their friends or co-workers' story, that they can help to create space for people to be that truthful. You know, we're talking about Little Murder, we're talking about Cliff, but I also talk about Wody, played by Bertram Williams Jr., you know, and I think that the space to be able to have someone that is not within, that doesn't identify the same as you, can still support you. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to identify how I identify to be an agent or an ally.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's also like you're having so much fun this season between the outfits, War with Autumn, the love life, the postcards. I mean, what did you enjoy the most in season 2? And of course, the COVID game, the masks, because you guys have filmed during COVID. Even the masks were matching every outfit.
Well, you have to. Come on now. That's a part of the culture. You can't expect Uncle Clifford to have to wear a mask. One, she has to wear a mask because of the pandemic, but also being a caregiver, you know. Myself, my father caught COVID during the pandemic and was hospitalized and everything like that. And it was such a mind and a heart wrenching thing. You know, he is well, he is great in health and all the things, but it's something that I feel that like you had to tell the story, and there's a wave during those 5 months because you left us at the end of season 1 on Murder Night, and we pick up season 2 5 months later, so in the midst of the pandemic. But there's already a wave of COVID that has come through the club, you know, initially before we all knew what it was, before they said, oh no, it's this, so now go home and close down. So to be in the midst of that, it's been a lot, but I think it makes for good drama.
It does. How many wigs has Uncle Clifford got?
I don't know. It's a whole lot. You know, when we were doing the play, the costume designer had said, oh, and this is the wig that, you know, Uncle Clifford's going to wear. And I was really fighting to get a second wig for like Act 2 in the play version. And the costume designer had made a pitch, and Katori said, oh, that's interesting. You only see 2 wigs? I can see Uncle Clifford having rows of wigs.
And you know, every time I talk to somebody who wears wigs, they give names to them, and there's like a special one. Do you have a special wig with a special name?
For me, the names all come from like whatever the point of reference. But season 2, I'll go with Diana. Diana's a long black one, similar to actually to your hair, Max. To be honest,
Right.
you know,
Not with low, but yes.
yeah, but it's like I think it's like a 9B.
I suggest you follow my lead.
Effa, I want you to remember how you even got in a position to buy this club.
Can you just give them a little bit of a P-Valley intro and what they can expect for this next season?
What can you expect? I think you can expect some down home, some Southern cooking laced with words. I think that I think it's a fun time. What happened, you know, whether you are in a space of quarantine and having to be isolated still, I think that watching the show, you are able to have a balance of freedom and have your own party in your own space, in your own house, you know, bringing the club to you so you don't have to get to the club. But I also think that all those things that you've been battling in your prayer closet or in your quiet time in your journal, like by yourself, I think that you'll be able to find a point of contact and relatability in one of these characters or two or three. And I think in that space and in that exchange, it's going to be a lot of truth and healing. So I hope you guys enjoy season 2.
Yeah, and celebrate body confidence every show.
Yes.
As Brandy said to me, which is really important. Before I say goodbye, please tell me you and Hayley are not going to kill each other.
I think that Uncle Clifford and Autumn Night, they have a relationship where it starts out with wanting to kind of like her, you know, and seeing her fractured space. Because I think Uncle Clifford sees the baby birds, you know, it's like, oh, okay, this is your thing. Okay, got you. No, like even when she had the panic attack at the car wash in season 1, you know, no, Mercedes will take you home. You need somebody with you. You don't need to be by yourself. I think that because she is coming from this from a financial standpoint and Uncle Clifford is coming from a love and loyalty standpoint, that they both have something to teach one another. But are they going to make it through? I don't know. We have filmed this whole season and I still say, I don't know. But you will get answers to those questions and a lot more are going to come up for sure in this season.
Hey, absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking time out.
Here.
You have completely killed it. I can't wait. Put out some merch and clothing as well as Uncle Clifford. I need her in my life so badly. Please love her.
Thank you. I love that. I absolutely love that. I didn't know. I didn't know that people would be able to receive in such a way. And I'm really, really, really proud about that.
Okay, looking forward to Diana. Have an amazing rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye, Max / Diana.
Paint the walls red. Bloodstains always bleed back through.